Alright, this video is going to be for you eBayers that need help finding new items to sell on eBay. As an eBayer, a lot of times even sellers that are not new will need items, normally hopefully new ones. I've sold a lot of used parts, but not everyone is into selling used car and four-wheeler parts. So in this case we'll be focusing on new parts or new items that you can buy in your own town and resell for profit on eBay. I'm going to tell you how to find them, where to find them, and hopefully you're a good enough eBayer to figure out how much you're going to make and make some profit off of it. So we'll get started here. Some things you're going to need for this to be successful is definitely going to be a smartphone. And when I say smartphone, I mean one that you can operate and use and be able to at least browse the internet to eBay, find an item, and see what price it is, see how many there are, all of that good stuff that you're going to want to know before you decide to buy any of these items that we'll be talking about. So if you can get yourself a smartphone, an iPhone, I've got a BlackBerry I like it. Some of the other phones have really been impressive as in regards to being able to use them. So if you have a smartphone and you have a pen and paper, we can get started with where to go and find and research these items. So in your town, wherever you may be, there's normally some type of dollar store, some type of Big Lots, which is kind of a really big dollar store in my opinion, and anything like that. Now we're going to get into stuff like AutoZone and Advanced at Walmart, but we're going to talk about these other smaller stores, which is what I've got pictured here. This picture you're seeing on the screen is actually a photo I took of my dollar store, and this is at the very back of the store, on, we'll say, the second to the last aisle. It's only about half of an aisle, and they normally put stuff there that I'm assuming doesn't sell or doesn't sell fast enough, or whatever their reason is for trying to mark it down and get rid of it. But this is a good place to look for stuff like this. I'm not saying I find everything that I sell on eBay at a dollar store, at this store, or from this picture. I'm not saying that, but this is a good way to get started within where to go out looking for stuff. Now, whatever you sell or whatever you're looking for on eBay, you need to think strategy wise on buying more than one of them. You go into these stores and looking for one or two items that doesn't cost much is great, but your time and money is just, it's not going to work out. So my strategy, especially in these places, is buying multiples. When you buy multiples, especially of the same or similar items, you can list them a lot faster on eBay with some of the features that eBay has. Sell similar. After you're finished selling the item, it's got a link that says sell similar item, which pre-fills all the blanks for you, which is great when you're trying to list a lot of items or make a lot of money. So buying multiples is definitely a good thing to look for. If you're going to find a deal, you might as well find a deal on a whole row of them or box of them or whatever it's going to be at that location. And even if you have to ask the manager, if he could make it cheaper, definitely do that. Maybe not at the bigger stores, Walmarts and stuff like that, but be your own judge on when to ask for even a cheaper price than what's on the shelf. So past the dollar store, I don't have any other pictures. I was going to go all around and show you what each aisle looked like, but I really thought it was going to be a big killer of my time this evening, and I tried to focus on what I'm telling you. So moving on to the next place that I have found some items to resell on eBay and to keep for a great deal is at the Big Lots, which this is just kind of like this picture. It's at the very back of the store. It's usually on one aisle or maybe a half of an aisle, and you know, everything in that store is already cheap, and this stuff's even cheaper. I mean, it's dirt cheap, and there's multiples, and I've bought some multiples of stuff, and I've also bought some what we'll call some unique items, which were something that I normally don't see for sale in any store around here. One of which was was a Seinfeld board game, which had a bunch of trivia game. And I looked it up at that time, and it was definitely worth more than I paid for it, and looked to be, in my opinion, maybe you know, a collector's item one day. So I saved it. It's still in the box, still in the package. Didn't cost me much, and at that time I didn't resell it and make any money. But I really thought it was a neat item because I'm a big fan of the show. Alright, so past Big Lots, you've got some other stores there. I mean, most of us that are watching this video are probably going to be in America. If not, you know, wherever you're at, whatever province you're at, country, town, you've probably got some stores somewhere that have some obsolete items, or obsolescence as the manager calls it. So if you ask for that, even if there's not a shelf, a lot of times the store manager will tend to show you, you know, his obsolescence or unsellable items for that store, and maybe make a deal with you. So for you guys out there that are looking for some new items, not necessarily used stuff, I've had excellent luck at all of the AutoZones across the town where I live. Numerous different times I've bought out some of their items that they're not carrying anymore for lots of different reasons. For normally packaging. I remember the first time I ever bought anything big like that from AutoZone, they were getting rid of all of their bolts and nuts and screws and all that stuff, and it come to find out it's because the packaging, new packaging that it was in, they had to use it, and they had to get rid of the old stuff, and I bought it for dirt cheap. And I've still got nuts and bolts out there, not anything I resold. But since then, very recently, I got a killer deal from AutoZone on engine oil, which was probably all across the country, but they had some for about $1 a quart, and I went around to everyone I could those 2 or 3 days and bought it all. Still have some, sold a lot, got some listed on eBay, which just sold some yesterday, by the way, making pretty good money on it. Overall I did great on it, and that was oil, you know, just in the quarts. Walmart, get down to the big giant here. Walmart from time to time does have some stuff on their back shelves. I like looking in the automotive aisle and seeing what all's left over there. A lot of times their prices are still really not cheap enough for me to buy and be able to make the kind of profit I want, you know, to resell it on eBay. So I'm not normally a buyer off those shelves in Walmart, even though I do look, and I probably have bought something at some point. So this kind of sums up the strategy of how to do that. When you're in these places, you're going to have to take your smartphone, pen and paper, write this stuff down, or research it right then and there, and don't just look at see if the item's selling and how much they're listed for. You're going to have to probably sign in or find a way to view the completed items in eBay which will tell you or show you if the items like that have sold and how much they've sold for. So that's what you got to look for. Don't look at eBay just to see what other people are trying to get for them. See what they're actually selling for. So that way you don't make any mistakes, buy something and you know, not make any money. So buying this stuff cheap is the key. That's where you make your money. You don't make your money when you sell it. You make your money when you buy it. In other words, you have to buy it cheap enough to make money over time, even if you have to cut and cut and cut other eBay sellers. So if you can't buy it cheap enough and then some, it may not be worth buying. So I hope this helped. It was a lot of information. I tried to go slow. Leave any comments you've got in the bottom for future videos about eBay or PayPal or anything like that I've talked about or you want to hear me talk about, and I'll probably make a video for you. Have a good day.